Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Hey, it's awesome to be here with you guys. So basically on the 10th of February, 2017, my world got shaken. Yeah. I was a filmmaker. We were working with some of the biggest brands in the world, and but I wasn't happy. Yeah, I always thought there must be a better way. Yeah, of working. Yeah, it's such a fragmented process that we are doing. Yeah, and it was during that time when actually I was filming with the Burton snowboarding team, and that was when crisis struck. Yeah, and the thing is with crisis is knows no value. Yeah, he is no respecter of people, and crisis actually makes all of us equal. Yeah, and now with my arm dislocated, I was forced to rethink the situation, and I knew I had this dream deep inside to do something. Yeah, and that was when we were approached by the CEO of Breitling. And he said, is there a way to manage 7 watch brands, media content, all from one single location? And I always thought there must be a better way of producing, yeah, that we can have a less defragment workflow process, yeah. And it's during that time when I met Pablo.
So at the same time, I thought I knew how to fix this issue that George Kern was trying to fix. And I'm a tech guy, so I'm not a filmmaker, but I have a lot of filmmakers around me, and I would see the way they worked, which was chaos. It was a whole mess, and I thought I can fix it. Right? I can create a tool where everything is in one place, a whole new workflow, everybody will collaborate in the same environment, will be an ecosystem, and it will scale to teams of hundreds, because we know some people work with 3, and sometimes you have a team of, again, hundreds or 1,000 people working in different continents. But I was missing something, which was the knowledge on what to build exactly. I just knew how. And when we started discussing with Xaver, I think we both knew that we found the missing pieces of the puzzle. And this is when we started working on Producer.
Yeah, and then now with the technology and with the film knowledge together, we knew we can actually pursue a dream. Yeah. And we spent the last 2 years really assembling the whole thing, yeah? Really building a platform from the initial idea, from briefing to building the storyboard out, and connecting every aspect, the shot list, the scheduling, the call sheet, all your sharing, your review and approval, everything in one place. Yeah? And the users really had a huge time saving, yeah? But we knew that was not where we wanted to stop, because you still had to do some of the work yourself, yeah. And now we want to take it to the next level, where actually producer is doing the work for you. Yeah. And so we are. So during this time, we take on all these elements, like from development to pre-production, production, post-production to delivery, and our users is actually finding a huge time saving, yeah, because we said, okay, how can we do this more? We're gonna actually connect it to a script importer, and then by doing this, we're actually having a 40% acceleration in the whole thing. We have a 45% reduction just in tooling, because you have less tooling, yeah? And there's a time saving because everything is connected, and then because everything is on the centralized repository, that is why you can actually find your files again, and we're working with Xaver for that. So we're actually going to demonstrate one to you. So Pablo is going to actually open up the application, and for this we work together with Solomon Lighthelm. He's one of the most famous commercial filmmakers right now, and he is a producer also, and he gave us a script Mutter that we could work with, and for that we work together with support partners, and support partners are actually, Pablo is actually going to use now the script, and we demonstrate it live to you, where you're actually sending it to support partners. They're extracting all the important information out of the script, like your locations, your characters, your descriptions, all of this information, which is very difficult to get out there. We're extracting it all, your interior, your exterior. Yeah, this we now pre-populate producer with it, and it's a huge time saver to do all these aspects. By doing this, you already have your locations in there, you have your shot list already, a lot of information is in there. But for the sake of the presentation, we would also like to just show you when it's actually populated, because now the filmmaker still has to do the work. Yeah, he still has to go through it, make sure everything is realistic, choose the right locations, etc. But we did so much work for him. And if you look at a project that is more populated, so each shot you can actually connect to a location, each shot you can connect to a shooting day, you can connect it to a character, and then by populating the storyboard well, you have your shot list ready. Your DOP just go through it, make sure that everything is realistic. We're shooting it at the right time. It automatically calculates you the time. You have your shooting schedule. Your line producer can just work on that parallel, of course, because it's a software as a service. Everything is running in the cloud. Yeah, the call sheet is already ready for you. So because it just moves all the files along through the process. But it doesn't just stop there. We also do the sharing. So all the dailies, he uploaded all his dailies from there. So you can look at each day and you can see all the files in there. He can share it. They can do review and approval on these things. So really everything, we're really trying to manage the entire production process all through one single application. So yeah, Pablo, I don't know if you have another word to say there on this.
Well, what I want to add is when we started, it was already a mess. It was fragmented, again, so many tools. But what we didn't expect is that AI would come along so fast. And now we believe it's more important, even more than before, to bring everything in one place to create an ecosystem. Otherwise, it would just be more tools that you have to go through and you have to move around. And you will, I mean, we already see this data that are being lost because people just don't remember where it is. We work a lot with corporates, and corporates, it's a lot of turnovers of people leave. They have their own process. They work with Google. They work with the Drive. And then when they left, the next guy is going to work with Dropbox. And after a few years, it's hundreds of hours and of actually invested money that is being lost. And now I think we are in the space where we can finally fix this issue.
Yeah, and then the great thing is now, by working together with support partners, we proved now our point, yeah, that what we really want to do is now, once we have the whole platform, now we want to be very selected, choose the right AI tools, because there's so many tools out there, so that the filmmakers don't have to worry about any technology. So after this, we will work on our storyboard integration, where it is more of generating all the pictures, and by generating it, because we are extracting the description from the script, we can actually generate these pictures. Yeah, and it doesn't just stop there. We're in talks with Decentralized Pictures, which is Ronan Coppola, that's behind it, where we really truly they will even help you funding your film, and then we're moving the whole credits right through producer, fixing the blockchain technology all the way out to the end, so that your credits are really fixed in there, and they will even help you distribute your thing. So we're thinking way further. This is for us really just a starting point now, but the first integration with support partners. Yeah. So yeah. It's been an amazing experience. This whole thing shaped our world, and it was the most interesting thing about it is, yes, we thought we're going to have a great journey, but we didn't know that we're going to meet so many amazing people along the way. Yeah, it's been an amazing ride, huh, Pablo?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are very, very supported by Microsoft, and we are very thankful for the whole journey that they've been supporting us along the way. And the interesting thing is what happened here is like there was a moment of crisis here, because in the Japanese language, the word crisis actually means opportunity. Yeah, and just because of a crisis with my arm ripped out, it actually turned into a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
So I think we have 10 minutes for question.
Questions for these five? Oh, yep, got one over there.
So with the content on Producer, are you syncing with your client's own cloud storage? Or are you providing storage for all that content?
We are providing the storage.
All right, and then is your pricing model based off of users or storage quantity? How do you actually like factor that out for your clients?
It's both. So you pay per license, one license per user, and then the more storage you use, the more you pay.
Excellent. I may ask you a question later.
Okay. You don't want to ask him another question now? Because we're all curious about what that other question.
Well, do you do educational licensing? For
You mean
educational?
for universities?
Yeah, for universities.
Yes, yes. So we can talk after if you want.
Exactly. That sounds lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, we're working together with the
Made a deal.
University of London, and there it's really a very large group, and there we have already 40 students on it. That is, they're the actual the lecturer is actually, or the professor is working as a single source of truth, and all these 40 students are doing their thesis working on the same place. So he has a single source of truth where he sees all of their projects running parallel, and that will just be the starting point because we're moving to the whole group what they have. So yeah, it's definitely working with education, yeah.
Great, more questions? Yeah, over there, okay. I was also curious, have you found anybody having conflicts because their stuff is coming from tool sets that are so disparate, so that when they bring it into your platform, they're running into problems, or has your platform already figured that out?
I mean, usually they don't bring stuff from other projects. They start a new project on Producer. It's more convincing them to stop working with their tool before and then do everything on Producer that is hard.
Okay. So you're not a solution in the middle of madness. We should really be starting with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really trying to bring something to streamline it, because I think a lot of the other workflow tools are very complicated, and often we're working with filmmakers, all they want to do is just be creative. They don't want to be focusing on all the technical stuff. Sure, there is technical people also within, but the creative people, they are very happy to have just focusing on the creative side of the job.
Does your tool get into post-production? So dealing with editorial, visual effects, all that kind of good stuff?
And we're really a project management, so we try to keep all the assets together at one place. So we do have partnerships together that we are talking together with Prime Focus, where they do a lot of that information and getting more technical on that side. We haven't figured out the path exactly how we're going to integrate all of those things. It is something that we're thinking of. But from our side, we want to keep it on the project management side and really deciding which tools we bring together so we can really simplify the whole process.
Oh, another question over here.
Really interesting stuff. Do you guys integrate any budgeting or cost analysis in your software?
Yeah, that's a question we get asked a lot. It's a very complicated answer or whatever like this, because I think we're from Switzerland and we have, they call it cantone, which is regions. Every region has a different tax system, and every country has its own budgeting system. And to integrate that, I just think it's such a mess. It's so complicated. So we prefer not to go into the budgeting side. We will, as AI progress, we might integrate a budgeting tool that will do that, because I think we can do a lot with this, because as AI is getting better and better, because we are accumulating data here. And with this data, we can truly help users to optimize it better, to say, understand better how they spend their money, and we can improve it. And I think we don't need to build the whole AI thing, or the whole budgeting thing. I think AI is going to help us solve this problem, yeah.
It's complicated, which is something people say to me a lot about getting involved, right? Are you the money guy? You got money? All right, well, all right. Let's talk later, because I like to hang out with the money guys. All right, who has another question? Okay, over here.
Thanks, guys. So, from a film producer's perspective, can you walk us through how the content is managed from the beginning to the end, just from a very basic, from the film production side, from the film producer side?
Yeah, I mean, normally where it originally starts is with an idea, yeah, and this idea is either needs to be formulated into a briefing so that the rest of the people can understand it. That briefing needs to be moved over into maybe a script. In the commercial sector, it could be a storyboard, yeah. So it depends. Some people like to start from just a brief. Some people like to start from a script, and some people like to start from storyboard. We all work a little bit different, yeah. But once it's in that flow. From after storyboard, it actually moves into your shot list, then your shooting schedule, then it moves in, and then during that same time, you might do location scouting, your locations, you upload it there, you might choose your characters, your crew, your cast, all of these things, your actual crew, and every time you choose another aspect, it ties into the whole picture. So everything is connected, everything moves it forward. So by the time you did all that work, your call sheet is done. You don't have to do anything on the call sheet side because it's connected. Yeah. And then once the call sheet is there, the next phase is then, of course, to upload your dailies, then choose the files, and then the next step for us is we haven't got it that right completely yet, but to mark your in and your out, and then it looks at the storyboard, and then you will actually cut your first rough cut. And by that, all of these things is enormous time savings that we're bringing to the users. And then after that, of course, it's all about the distribution, sharing the files with the right people, the right stakeholders. But there's, of course, other aspects also like communication, collaboration. All of these things, we're trying to put it all together in one single application. I don't know if I missed something there, Pablo.
You guys, where can everybody learn more about this? Learn more, find you guys. I know you're from Swiss, but where can we learn more about this? Online, like where can we find you?
Yes, you can find us on our website, just right there. And you can try the application for free, so really don't hesitate to go there. And you can come see us on our booth next to the entrance, and we can gladly demo the application to you.
Fantastic. Let's have a big hand for producer maker Machina.